I'm Eslami. I'm a virtual reality artist from Iran, living and working in Amsterdam since 2018. And I mainly work on long-term projects, researching the ideas around virtual life and the speculations about virtual life that is a possible future that we might have, and also the digital culture and how technology affects us as humans and how us as humans affect technologies.
I'm Mathilde Renault. I'm a French artist based in Amsterdam. I have a background in architecture and then I shifted to audiovisual. So what I do is speculative immersive installations. Usually I involve the senses, mainly sound and smell, with a strong scientific process behind it actually.
End of last year I had a lecture performance from the project that I've been doing for a long time called False Mirror in an artist residency that we were both part of in Amsterdam. I was live in VR and giving a walkthrough or a guidance to the audience, and Mathilde was part of the audience there.
I remember moments he would do selfies with us, so we were already part of it. Even though we were not inside the VR, we could already feel something. There was a lot going on.
After that lecture, I had really great conversations with Mathilde, and I always had this tension inside to expand the project, to add other social dimensions to the project, so I could explore how this world could expand when there are more than one identity there, and how these two identities, radically different, can cohabit together. Eclipse is exploring how two radically different post-humans or digital humans get to encounter and meet each other. There are two characters, Alless and Lena, that are living in a totally different sort of inner spaces in a virtual reality called False Mirror. For instance, Alless has a very engineered mindset, and his body is designed very modular, different kits attached to his body to enhance the way he sees and manipulates space. The way he moves is kind of stuck to the ground, so gravity is affecting his movements. And on the other hand, Lena has this sort of connection with nature, and she can fly everywhere she goes, so there's no limit for her movements.
Can also mention the fact that she controls natural forces somehow, time, but also wind and rain and these kind of things that actually have an effect on Alless' world, although it does happen only when they do meet each other.
And another thing that she has very special to her body is that she can leave traces of her thoughts and feelings as she moves in the space in forms of small sort of ceramics that comes out of her body. Alless on his body has an attachment on his hand, which is a vacuum cleaner, and this vacuum cleaner has a screen next to it that whatever it vacuums, it sort of deciphers the notion of that vacuumed object in form of an image, so that he can understand unknown objects. The way they get to know each other is through Alless trying to vacuum Lena's pieces to get to know more about her existence, because they basically cannot see each other. The interesting part is how it explores how very different identities can interact in a very unconventional way, as we know. It's also exploring the ideas of intersubjectivities. What you see is not necessarily what the other sees.
Exactly.
Yeah. I mean, it has different sort of angles. One of them is actually the way that the technology and the techno-corporate sort of companies like Facebook make this vision for us. For instance, Facebook Horizon is something that Facebook is investing on, which is like a shared sort of metaverse that it's like a VR version of Facebook, basically, where everyone can be themselves and exist and cohabit with each other. That's a future that scares me in many extents, if it's going to be not open and developed by the interests of techno capital companies. The novelty of those cultures are being sold to us. So I think the more we explore futures by ourselves as individuals, as artists, is important to sort of be able to see these bends ahead. I totally believe in the power of imagination to reconstruct the world. This is what VR is really powerful in. You start to question things that you take as granted. So the more we get exposed to these sort of fiction but yet very real and tangible moments as we try to explore in VR, the more you start to question the hierarchies and the established thoughts that we have in our societies, in our social constructs, in our belief systems. That's how the imagination allows us to progress, giving us a broader domain of possibilities. See the screen? You would be here.
Oh, so it's fine, we actually have
Yeah.
space. No, that's good.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
So during our performance of Eclipse, the audience will see us on stage, and people would see what we sort of explore in the VR headsets on the big screens. That gives a good immersive feeling, and yet you don't have to wear the VR headset to be there yourself. You can still tell stories with the performance through the eyes of the others who are doing it. I think that's what I like about this kind of double sort of presence, like being in the room with flesh and like real bodies, and also being in a totally different reality, being a totally different being. And these all happening at the same time. I think it's like really special. The website of False Mirror is going to be launched
Today, actually.
Yeah, today actually. The website is kind of like an OS, like an operating system, and interactive, and you can explore the website. You can navigate to different spaces in False Mirror, and you can also tap into Alless and Lena's private desktops.